In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I built for one of my clients and how you can build one for yourself with your business. Or if you have clients, this is a valuable solution that could potentially uncover millions of dollars within their business, just like how I found millions of dollars for the clients that I've worked with. So we're going to go through how I planned it out, how I built it, get it built so we can test it out here live. I showed one of my clients how they're leaving $1.2 million sitting on the table within their business and how it's completely uncovered and untapped. A med spa client of mine had over $1 million in treatment due patients sitting in their database. Nobody was reaching out to them. Nobody was collecting the revenue. The tools that they were using weren't talking to each other. The data was just sitting there. Inactivity patients, VIP patients in their database, all static. The tools that they were using weren't speaking to each other. I'm going to show you exactly how I solve this problem and how you can build the same system for your clients or for your business. No matter the industry, every business is sitting on static data, dormant data that they can revitalize and personally reach out to now due to AI. The bandwidth has completely increased. Most businesses are running on 3 separate tools. They have a place to store patient records, client records, their database. And then they have a tool to communicate with these people, with their clients and with their users. And then there's booking and scheduling. So if you're a service-based business, an IRL business, like I mentioned, my client was a med spa company, but this is across the board. You could be landscaping, plumbing, in the medical field, right? Private clinics, nail salons, heck, even restaurants. It doesn't matter. Everyone has lapsed dormant data and they're not doing anything with it. And this is where you can take static data and turn it dynamic, deploying agents within your business efficiently in a way that actually moves the needle and increases revenue, because otherwise these patient records are just sitting in their database. Currently in Ozawa, let's start up a blank section here. So this is how I think about solving this within Oz and how I solve all of these type of builds. I start with the plans. I plan it out and get detailed on all the tools that aren't speaking to each other, and then pumping in the logic between these tools that can identify certain edge cases within the client database to then send out personalized messages, personalized emails, voicemail drops, whatever you want to get those clients back in the door so your revenue can increase. I have a med spa client. They utilize 3 separate tools to run their business: a patient management system for client records, a communication layer for outreach, emails, SMS, and then also a booking and scheduling tool. The issue is none of these tools are connected and speaking to each other. So what we need to do, we need to build a retention system that pools the patient data, identifies who is dormant, who needs treatment, like their treatment due. For an example, someone may have gotten Botox and Botox need to be refilled every quarter. So we need to be able to identify certain aspects of this data. Also inactivity, maybe a patient came in 9 months ago, a personalized message being sent to them saying, hey, we miss you, could be great. We need to identify VIP patients, maybe anyone that spent more than $5,000 with the business. And on the treatment due aspect, it could be based on visit history and treatment type. And then the solution that we're going to provide is having the logic within this system to be able to flag and identify all of this as their database updates in real time. So our system is constantly analyzing the records and then being able to timely trigger personalized messages and outreach automatically, autonomously through their communication layer. On top of that, we're going to need to remove people, the clients, from the messaging pool once they rebook. So that's the importance of the scheduling and booking layer. All of these systems need to speak to each other. Perfect, prompt looking good. I'm going to now let Oz plan this out. And what Oz is going to do, it's going to identify everything that we need, layer by layer, point by point, how we need to build this to achieve what we're looking for. Perfect. So Oz is done. This is the plan right here. This is a really strong project. You're essentially building the connective tissue between 3 systems your client already pays for, but gets no compound value out of it. The med spa keeps running their business in 3 silos, and you're going to turn that into an automated retention engine. That's a high value deliverable, the kind of thing that pays for itself the first month a handful of lapsed Botox patients rebook. Exactly. Perfect. So let me think through the architecture with you before before we lock in a plan. So now we go plan by plan, right? The 3 integration points are the core of everything before I lay out the steps. I need to know which specific tools you're utilizing. Perfect, yeah. So which tools? On the retention logic itself, I want to make sure you're thinking about this the right way. You described 3 flags: treatment due, dormancy, and VIP. A few questions that will sharpen that plan. Who defines the treatment due windows? Does a client already have a list of services in their reorder cadence, or do we need to build that? Perfect. For dormancy, is 9 months the threshold? Yup. And VIP, is 5K the number? Yup. Perfect. Perfect. So these are all great questions. Now let's go tool by tool. Let's say the client is utilizing MindBody, or let's say the database is Nextech. So the three tools, let's say Nextech for records and database. Let's say GHL, Go High Level for communication. And let's say Calendarly for scheduling and booking. Perfect. For the retention logic, go with all of your recommendations. The treatment due, Botox, filler, face wash. Let's start with the simulation. Perfect. Now we have that down. And for dormancy, yes, let's trigger at 9 months. The goal here is to test this out locally in a local environment so we can utilize dummy data, dummy triggers, and then we'll connect the APIs with all of these 3 tools later on. But we want to render this in a local environment first. Perfect. Now that we have the responses, this is how I plan everything out. I first start with the base. What's the problem? Then I speak with AI, plan it out to the T, step by step, every detail, identifying all of the tools that said client may use or I need wired together. And then we have the agents build it and test it out. Perfect. The unified patient model lives in a local. Perfect. We're going to test this out locally first. Local database, SQLite. Perfect. Fill that up with dummy data to test out the logic, and then the rules engine, which I like to call it the retention system. And see, now the plans agent took it step by step, planned everything out to the T. Next.js project, design, build the dummy data that we'll test on, build the treatment due cadence, implement the retention rules engine, build the simulated GHL outreach layer, build the simulated Calendarly rebooking layer, implement outreach suppression logic, build the retention dashboard UI, add outreach log view of suppression confirmation, and then end-to-end local testing and scenario validation. Just like that, within minutes, having a genuine problem, a problem that millions of businesses deal with, static and dormant data, patients that are just sitting in their database when they would be more than happy to revisit and come in and spend more money with the business if there's that customer experience there. And that all starts with the messaging, that all starts with how they talk to them, how they communicate with them, getting them back in the door, not forgetting about them, reminding them before they even remember, hey, you've been gone for X amount of months. How's your skin looking? Is there anything that I could talk through with you, or would you like to come back in? We just have this X special, 50% off. There's so many services that I utilize on a day-to-day, month-to-month basis that I would love to use again, but I forget about the business and they forget about me. And so this type of tool, within minutes, going from a great idea with the real problem businesses deal with to planning it out with an agent, this is literally everything that we need step by step. And we can continue to add to this plan here, or we can just start building and test it out, which that's what we're going to do right now. Yes, let's begin. Now we have Ozawa develop all of the plans here in its separate file. This is the overview MD, perfect. We have the dashboard, perfect. This is the dashboard file, MD, and then we have the data engine here. And so from here, from the plans agent, all we need to do is just click the play button and then have the agents build the project.
Iris is on it. Nova is on it.
And just like that, the agents are building the project. It's that simple. As soon as it's done, it's going to notify you that it's done, and they'll be able to test it out. And so now the plans agent is feeding all the plans to the general agents. This one's Nova is the designer agent, actively building the project that we've discussed. And within minutes, we go from a real life problem businesses will pay an arm and a leg to fix to planning it out and then having agents build it to where we can test it and then deploy it so other businesses can use it. Coding agent working, designer agent working, plans, keeping everything organized. This is such a great system to build projects. Within this system, there's nothing that you can't build. This is remarkable.
Iris is done.
So Iris is done.
Nova is on it.
This is the importance of having multiple agents do work with each other and talk to each other. As you can see right here, this is the plans. So like Nova is responsible for steps 5 and 6, completely isolated from Iris, that's responsible for 1 and 4. If you look at our plans, completely different work that should be isolated. And the plans agent fed that into the coding and design agent so they can get the work done in a clean manner. So Nova is responsible for the dashboard and the outreach logic panel. Iris is responsible for really the back end, the database, the templates, remarkable stuff. And as soon as it's done, we'll be able to see it live.
Nova is done.
Just like that, Nova's done, Iris is done. Let's run the app and test it out. Run the app. Just like that, we can test this out locally. This is the foundation. This is moments from being deployed on a server for other businesses to use or for your business to utilize it internally. And you can completely customize this with the designer agent, with the coding agent that's handling the database, or other agents if you need more research. Once you want to plug this into the tools that you're using, the back end, and making this fully end-to-end. Spectacular. Patient retention engine, med spa retention intelligence. So for an example, treatment due, there's 13 patients, 7 dormant, inactive for about 270 days, VIP, people that spent over $5,000. This was all built within minutes. Now you have a simulated version that you can actually plug in with your database, with your data, build the logic that is personal to you and your business, what you want to identify within the business and within your database. You may have different triggers. You may be watching certain components other than a med spa company. You may be a different type of service business. Regardless of what type of business you are, every company deals with this. This is awesome. We went from idea, major problem, to planning it out, refining it. And this is just minutes. Imagine if we spent a couple days on this, what we will be able to build. That could be a real business. All you need to do is connect your database and all of your data, refine the logic, completely test it out. When we built this for my client, they had roughly $1 million in dormant patient value. People who had visited, who trusted the practice, who were literally due for treatments, just being ignored because the tools weren't connected and nobody had time. Nobody cared enough to dive into the data. The bandwidth wasn't there. Within the first month of this system running, patients who haven't visited in 6 months were getting personalized messages and rebooking, coming back into the practice. That's not marketing. That's literally just connecting the dots that were already there. If you're an agency owner building systems for clients or a service business owner sitting on a database full of dormant customers, this is exactly why Oz is here and why this system is here, built to help you plan and build, getting it to production and actually working and making you money within your business. This is a way AI can help grow your revenue or save on expenses and save you time. You describe the problem, the agents figure out the architecture, you review the architecture and the plan and get it deployed. No developer required. Link is in description. If you have any other questions, please contact me. I'm going to be doing stuff like this every single day. You have systems that you need built and you're tired of utilizing third-party systems that don't quite get exactly what you want, you can custom build it now today. You have everything you need to make more, save more, and capture your time back. Let's build the future together. See you in the next video.